Yo guys, what's going on? We are back with another video of mine on this Tuesday. One love to everyone out there. Hope you're doing well and taking care of yourselves, man. So today's video, we're going to be talking about self-reflection, why it's important to step back from everything and look at everything from a bird's eye view. Because sometimes we don't take time out for ourselves to really analyze our life and really heal certain parts within ourselves. So I use my self-reflection practice as a place to reflect and come back home, go within myself and find peace. Because most of the time, we're moving at 500 miles per hour. We're always on the ball doing something. We're trying to fix other people's problems, but then we forget about our own problems. We're trying to water other people's gardens, but then we forget about our own space. You know what I mean? And sometimes our gardens might be filled up with weeds and stuff like that. So there's an element of balance that we have to maintain in life because you don't want to burn yourself out too much. That's when you lose control of life. That's when you lose balance in your life. That's when you start getting mental fog. You put yourself in depression when you move at a ridiculous pace in life. That's why I like to put down the brakes and self-reflect, just to give myself a chance to process my emotions and thoughts throughout the day, throughout the week, so I can gain clarity and understanding on my life. So for me personally, if you don't like your alone time, then it'll be really hard for you to self-reflect. If you don't stop for a moment just to check in with our body, because sometimes our emotions and our bodies give us signals throughout the day, but because we're so busy doing things, we ignore it, we neglect it, and all these emotions, they bottle up and they keep bottling up until we address it. And how we address these emotions and these body pains and cramps and stuff like that is to self-reflect and heal. So for me, I feel like personally, it's very important to keep balance in your life and to control the tempo of your life so you don't pick up speed tickets. That's all I'm saying, guys. You know what I mean? But breaking down self-reflection from a more deeper level, I'll tell you this right now, yeah. If you're not self-reflecting and being honest with yourself, if you're judging everything and being very biased towards yourself, then there's no point doing self-reflection. It will be useless. It's a useless practice if you're not going to be honest with yourself, if you're not looking at everything from a clear perspective, from a neutral place. Because most people that self-reflect realistically are trying to keep their image. So they'll blame other people for their shortcomings. They will blame external things for their faults and errors in life. But sometimes we don't look at ourselves and see if we're the one that's making mistakes, if we're the one that's toxic in relationships. But people don't see themselves being in the wrong because they have this pride mindset that they're always right in every situation that they step into. So they'll blame other people, they'll blame the external world so they can run away from pain, so they can run away from responsibility, so they can run away from change. Because sometimes when we make mistakes over and over again, we have to make change, and the mind is not used to change. That's why it's so hard for us to change, because the mind is used to knowing, the spirit is used to the unknown. And sometimes when we need to heal ourselves, we need to step into the unknown and have faith that everything will work out. But a lot of people are not ready to make changes, so they'll rather run away from responsibilities, run away from the pain, run away from the harsh truth that they are in the wrong. So people bubble wrap themselves in their own world so they feel comfortable. It's the easy way out. But the thing is, how long can you run away for? How long can you lie to people, not only to people but yourself? So people think that they can run and run all their life and not expect to run out of stamina one day. And once you lose stamina, that's when all your problems, that's when all the lies that you've told everyone and yourself comes crashing down onto you, and you have to deal with everything. So there's no point trying to lie to get out of certain situations, because at the end of the day, you always got to live with the lies. You always got to live with the excuses throughout life. So for me, you have to step into everything with honesty. You might be in the wrong. Admit that. That's a part of growth. That's a part of maturity. We all have to do it. We all make mistakes. We're not perfect. True enlightenment, true wisdom comes from you going through experiences to realize the lessons from the experiences that you went through. And that takes reflection, but coming from an honest place. Like, a lot of people these days let their emotions paint the picture, let their emotions cloud their perspective. For example, yeah, when you are in a relationship, right, and you've been with somebody for a long time and you really loved them and they loved you, and all of a sudden they decide to break up with you, yeah, you might feel emotions like depression, sadness, anger, and that's completely normal, you get me? But them emotions that we hold on to, like grudges, completely wipes away a clear and neutral perspective, because now you just don't care. Now you just want to throw your toys out the pram and start blaming other people. But You're seeing everything from your perspective and from your world, and the only thing you're doing is being biased towards yourself. But once you allow yourself to feel these emotions and let go of them over time, that's when you can step out of your own perspective to step into somebody else's shoes to see why would they break up with me. Sometimes you'll realize that you're the one that's in the wrong actually, and not somebody else. Maybe your ways are too overpowering to somebody. That's why they broke up with you. You know what I mean? But you won't think like that if you're not looking at it neutrally. Sometimes it's going to be difficult. It's not an easy thing to do, to be honest, to be transparent, to be vulnerable, to be completely naked when it comes to judging situations, especially when it comes to relationships, man. We like to always blame other people, but then we forget about the mistakes that we make. And how can you heal your own mistakes if you're not aware of them? The only way you can stop doing a habit is when you become aware of it. And once you have some type of awareness towards that habit that you are indulging in, which can be blaming other people or any type of habit that's hindering your process, that's when you can make the necessary changes to help you grow from that, ascend from that habit, so you can liberate yourself and become free. So self-reflection is more of a healing process. It's more than just looking at yourself and judging things. It's a very deep practice that we all have to do in our lives at some point, and a lot of people like to avoid it because a lot of people are scared to find what's within them. A lot of people are scared of vulnerability. A lot of people are scared of change, and sometimes you have to change your ways. A lot of people are not used to change. They're used to what they know. They're used to what's familiar to them. So they're rather to stay in their ways because it's more comfortable. There's no work. There's no dealing with emotions. There's no dealing with your shadow side. But it's a dangerous game because your own perspective can be the one that's closing you from seeing truth, seeing freedom. Your own perspective and your own world can be closing you off from growth. So at the end of the day, guys, man, self-reflection is very important, especially when we go through experiences. And a lot of people tell you that experiences equals wisdom. For me, experiences with neutral self-reflection is going to be the one to give you wisdom and enlightenment for the future. So I think I wrapped up this video and spoke about everything that I needed to talk about today. It's just a very short video, but I'm going to leave you with this one to summarize my video in a nutshell for you guys. Pride is the downfall of man, but honesty is freedom to all man's problems. One love to all of you guys. Take care. I'm out. Peace.